We're gonna eat some lasagna. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be talking. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be talking about why. I'm gonna be talking about why Lucas Sinclair had a better character development than Steve Harrington in season 2 of Stranger Things. Buckle up, buckos. Ooh, right in the head. Let's get into it. First of all, Steve Harrington. I love him. He's just a very attractive man and he is a great character. So like win-win, am I right? By the way, anyone who ships Steve Harrington and Billy, please stop, because that's terrible, because Billy's a terrible person. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about why I love Lucas Sinclair and why he deserves more recognition for being a great character, and that's all I have to say right now. So, season 1 of Stranger Things, we are introduced to the main lads in the first minute, pretty much, of the episode. And we see a very clear indication of all of the main boys in the show. We see Mike, he's the leader of the group, the one that is instructing Dungeons and Dragons. We see Will, he's the one that's faced with a conundrum, foreshadowing later, whether he should fight or he should stay. Should he stay or should he go now? If I go, there will be trouble. We see Dustin. He is the one that is like cast protection because he's kind of a, this sounds really mean, but he's kind of a wimpier character of the group. And this is showing that he is the one that's willing to more play it safe. We see Lucas, who is the one that we're going to be talking about today. His reaction is to cast Fireball because he knows that that is a surefire way to kill the Demogorgon and do like what is going to make the whole party safe. Yeah. And these actions right here tell us a lot about the characters right at the beginning. Now let's go on to when they first meet Eleven. When they first meet Eleven, Lucas is the one that is the most suspicious of her. He is the one that is like, I wouldn't have her in my house. Which is a very fair action to have when you see this, you know, girl coming from the woods trying to undress in front of you because she doesn't understand the concept of like privacy. And a lot of people really don't like Lucas for this reason. I'm sorry. They really don't like him because he doesn't like Eleven. And I think that's really dumb. He doesn't hate Eleven by any means. He doesn't even dislike her. He just doesn't understand her. And the kid who plays him, Caleb McLaughlin, he's my age. Isn't that wild? He has said in multiple interviews, he's like, very defensive of his character because so many people have so much backlash against him, and I think that's so sad that this like 16-year-old has to defend his character. Like, grow up, everyone else. Like, don't fight this kid because his character did something mean. You know what I mean? And also, he doesn't even do anything that is that terrible. Like, the worst that he does, and he just yells at Eleven for taking them off track because his main priority is Will, because he's so loyal to his group of friends, and that's why he doesn't like Eleven, because she is a threat to the group. So when he sees her, you know, like kind of taking Mike off course of the initial plan, which was to find Will, he doesn't like this, which is very understandable. Dustin, he's a little bit more compassionate, and also not really the one that's gonna go up and say something to the leader of the group, which is Mike. But Lucas is. He's definitely much more of a fighter of the group. Again, we see with the Fireball thing. So when he loses that battle to Eleven, essentially by her, like, you know, using her powers, which was totally uncalled for, to be honest, and could have actually genuinely hurt this kid, it's really showing that he sees her as not a member of this party. He sees her as a threat to it. He's being the reasonable level-headedness of the group. Because if they didn't have that, these kids would be like in so much trouble by this point, and way over their heads, and probably got off course of the whole mission if it weren't for Lucas. And that's why I adore him. Now we're going to talk about why I adored him in season 2. And why I think they did so much great work with him. Now again, in season 1, I really loved him, but I was rolling my eyes a little bit at some points when he really was much more of a violent character than all the others. I thought it was very much leading to a bit of stereotypes. Mike's not really a stereotype. He's much more of like a full character. Will is a little bit of a stereotype in season 1, and Lucas also is too, but he is the worst stereotype, arguably, because he's playing the angry black kid. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna touch too much onto like racism in this, but it is still a factor that I still see, and I'm kind of like, I roll my eyes at it a little bit. Especially with It, like the new It movie coming out, which I love so much. I rolled my eyes a lot when seeing Mike's character, because they completely took his whole historian character and gave it to Ben, which I really was sad about, because instead of making him look like the really smart kid he was, they kind of took that away from him and just made him the character who kind of knew about the thing because his parents died. His parents didn't even die in the book, by the way. And he was the one that had a gun. Like, the black... I don't know. It's just, again, these kind of stereotypes where it's like the black kid is the one that's the first to think about violence. And I don't know. It's messy and I don't like it. And I'm not gonna like talk too much about it because I'm not like too knowledgeable about the subject. But just, whenever I see this kind of stereotype, especially with black boys and like young children in films and stuff, I roll my eyes, because it's just... Anyway, so later in season 2, the things I wanted to happen in season 2, I wanted the snowball. I got that. I wanted Eleven and Hopper to be like father and daughter, and I got that. And I wanted Lucas to appear as more of a softer character, and I got that. In this season, we have Max, which pretty much, I feel like a lot of people don't even realize this, but her main purpose as a character in this season is to make Mike more of a likable character and make him much more of a compassionate character. As we kind of see through Eleven, I feel like Eleven kind of... What do you want? Cooper! Hi, buddy. Because as we kind of see, in season 1, I think he taught her to be a little bit more understanding of new people, and you definitely see a bit of a change in his attitude towards new people in the group. He kind of learns in season 1 that different people bring different aspects to the group, and so that's why he wants to bring Mad Max. Not gonna lie, it's also because he has a huge crush on her, but that's irrelevant right now. Stop looking at me like that. Cooper. Now, the scene where Lucas and Max are on top of the bus, and they're talking, that is one of my favorite scenes in the whole second season. We get a little bit more insight about Max, and we get to see the two of their different characters. I don't know, I guess him just being a little bit more understanding of what she herself is going through. Maybe not necessarily understanding like how it happened and that kind of stuff, because he's never had to deal with that, but his compassionate side is coming out. Max is there to just make him a softer character. Like in season 1, he was supposed to be the voice of reason in the group, and he was supposed to be the one that was the biggest conflict for Eleven and Mike, their relationship. But in this season, we see almost the opposite happen. Where Mike is the one that is very anti-Max, anti this kind of thing going on. I like that a lot. Not that Mike is like sad. I don't want him to be sad. But it just makes me happy that Lucas is a happy character this season, you know? Also, to touch just like a little bit more on race, because like of course this video is already problematic. I really love the whole Venkman Ghostbusters argument, because like that's an argument kids would have, you know what I mean? And I really like that because it's just slightly touching on race in a little bit, because it's like, you know, none of the kids would want to be Venkman. Yeah, because Venkman's like the boring one. He came into the group late. He wasn't even a scientist. And like all of them are big ass nerds. They wouldn't want to be any character that isn't a scientist. and I really like that. In the end of the season, when Lucas is like prepping himself in front of the mirror, I died. That was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And again, it really shows how sensitive of a character he is. Still himself, he still likes to kind of put up a little bit of a front. He still kind of likes to be the one in charge of situations, but he's still like he's still a nervous boy, and that really makes me happy. Now I want to talk about some things that make me sad. Mostly the messed up people out there, not even messed up, we're just ignorant people out there who ship 11 and Max. And we're not talking about how it's like kind of gross to ship children, but you're not really shipping children, you're shipping their characters, and like that's kind of different. I don't know. It's a touchy subject, but like, you know, it's like we all go on when like 11 and Mike kiss, so it's like we're all kind of guilty of this, you know what I mean? I ate too much lasagna. And this makes me all sorts of mad. Is it because that they've never really had an actual conversation with each other before? Is that why you ship them? Is it because like the only time they've talked to each other, it was just because Max was like, hey, I've heard so much about you, you're an awesome person. And she's like, well, screw you, Bunch. You tried to get with my boy. Yeah, they're really meant for each other. Or is it because, you know, Max is dating a black guy? I wonder which one it is. Is it both? It's both. I'm just so done with people trying to erase the only black character in this show, the only person of color in this show, because he is a great character and he does not deserve to be erased. And I can't, yeah, sure, Steve has had great character development in this season. Steve went from daddy to dad. I'm just saying, he is a great character and I fully enjoy him. And I fully enjoyed Lucas. And I don't like that not enough people enjoy him, and it makes me mad because he is funny as heck and he has delivered some of the funniest lines in this show, and him and Dustin have a great and hilarious relationship, and him and Max are cute as heck. Things that I wish I see in season 3 about, like, in association with Lucas, is I want him to have more of a friendship with Mike, because we heard about this friendship in season 1. We heard about Dustin and him talking about it, but we don't see it enough, and I still want to see it a little bit more, because they did it a little bit in season 1, but they did not do it a lot in season 2. They really focused on Mike and Will, which I get because they're like the closest together in that season, and they want to focus on like Max and Lucas, but like I just want to see a little bit more of their friendship because they are really cute together. I want them to go on like double dates with their girlfriends. That would be cute as heck. Sorry. I still want to see him be more compassionate. I want to see him and Max just be a like badass fighting duo. Her with like, I don't know, like her skateboard, and him with like his like wrist rocket, and like them like fighting the Demogorgons and upside down things and just being awesome. And I just want him to be amazing and really great and just supportive of all his friends, and I want all his friends to support him, and I want more people of color in this cast. I don't know what this was. Is this a good first video to do after like deleting all of your old one because they're all cringy as hell? Is this still cringy? Am I gonna look back at this in like a year and be like, nope. Who knows? Make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Or not. Bye.